Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to an all-new episode of Morning Coffee with Kevin. I'm your host, Kevin Peterson. Well, folks, I have a lot to pack into today's show. I have some good news, I have some bad news, and I have some sad news. So, I'm just going to get right into this, and I'm going to give you the sad news first so we can just get past this and move forward with the podcast. And I just ask that my listeners bear with me today and stay with me and listen to today's show. During the Thanksgiving break, and I guess before I say anything, I should say I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope everybody was safe, and I hope everybody got to spend time with family and just enjoyed themselves and stayed out of trouble. So, with that being said, the sad news is during the Thanksgiving break, I got a phone call that my partner in crime, my partner in the music business for over 37 years, had suddenly passed away. Jeff was more than just a friend to me. He was more than just a musician that I met and worked with. He was my family, and we loved each other like brothers, and this is a very difficult time for me, and I had to pull myself together long enough to put this podcast together today. So I'm going to do my best to keep myself together, and I just ask that everybody bears with me. Jeff and I met back in the early 90s, and we became friends very quickly, and more so became like family very quickly, and we had a long-lasting career working together in the music industry, well over 37 years now. And I don't know how I'm going to get by without him, because I relied on him for so much. And he relied on me for so much. And now that he's gone, there's a real void in my life. And you're never ready to lose somebody you love. And it's a difficult time for me. So, moving forward, my record label is still going to move forward with the Ashworth and Peterson records. Any unreleased material is going to be released this year. We had intended to have 2 records released in January. That is put on hold for now. They will be out soon, but I do not have a date or a timeline on that right now, and nobody can really expect me to have one due to the current circumstances. People have already asked me what's going to happen with the Kevin Peterson band. And I don't have an answer. I don't know what I'm going to do with the Kevin Peterson Band. Jeff and I and Mariska formed the Kevin Peterson Band back in 2010. So we've had a good run for our money. I don't really know what's going to happen at this point. I just ask that everybody is patient and conscious of what is going on, and just be aware of my feelings. And I will be back with a podcast sometime after the first of the year, explaining to people what we are going to do in the future with either project. Because at this point, I don't know. And it's just not the time for people to be asking, what about the records? Well, what about them? What about them? I just lost my brother. And that's really not my priority right now. So for anybody wondering, I will get to the projects when I get to the projects, and I will let you know when they're going to be available. December 25, we are celebrating our 5th year in broadcasting. Manila Dawn Broadcasting is celebrating its 5th year. This is our 4th podcast. And for next year, we are looking forward to a all-new podcast. And we are also looking at a weekend radio show, which I've talked about in previous podcasts, called The Weekend Warrior. So we do have a lot going on at the studio. We have a lot going on with all of the Manila Dawn brands and its subsidiaries. There's just so much for me to deal with right now, with the recent tragedy, with the deadline and commitments I have for all of these records and films and everything else we're working on, that I am just going to try to get everything out as intended in a timely manner, and we can go from there. So I just ask my listeners, please be patient. Please be mindful of everything I've recently been through. And I will do my best, because I know that that's what Jeff would want me to do. He would want me to move forward, release the records, and enjoy the music. I just wished that he was still here so that he could enjoy the fruits of our labor together. And I can honestly say that I will probably never work with another guitar player that can match the skill level of Jeff. He is going to be missed dearly. So I'm going to kind of keep today's episode short in light of everything that has been going on. I hope everybody has a wonderful Christmas. I hope everybody is safe this Christmas, these holidays coming up. And I hope everybody has a wonderful New Year's and is safe. We will be back sometime in February, maybe March. I'm not quite sure. Maybe even sooner. It depends on how I deal with all of this and whether I can keep up with the deadlines and commitments to get these projects out. It's going to be difficult, but I will do my best. So I hope that everybody has an incredible holiday. I just want all my listeners to know that I love you and I appreciate you, and I so greatly appreciate your support for the show. The fact that you tune in every Monday and listen. The fact that you listen to my reruns when I don't put out a new show every Monday. And I just want to say, God bless everybody. And thank you again for making Morning Coffee with Kevin what it's become. So, if you are listening to the podcast and you are listening on any platform other than YouTube, then this is pretty much coming to the end of the show. This is the final episode of Season 2. We will be back next year with Season 3, all new episodes. If you are listening on YouTube, then we will be right back with bonus material. And we are going to run a repeat of every single episode of Morning Coffee with Kevin from Season 1 and Season 2. For a total of, I believe it's just shy of 24 hours. So this show on YouTube will be a 24-hour program. And if you're listening on any other platform, like I said, we are about at the end of the show. I'm really just kind of lost for words with the recent events, and I really just don't know what to say to anybody, and I'm still grieving. I'm still in shock, and I'm not really sure that I've accepted the fact that Jeff is gone. I know the coming days are going to be difficult, and I know that I'm going to have my ups and I'm going to have my downs, and it's going to be difficult. I understand that. So I just ask my listeners, please bear with me. And I will be putting out new episodes of the podcast next year as soon as I possibly can. I will be putting out the Ashworth and Peterson records the beginning of the year as soon as I can. And I will be releasing more material from the Kevin Peterson Band. And again, I will be doing this sometime next year. So that should answer everybody's questions as far as where I'm at, what I'm doing, and what's going on. And this really was not the perfect ending for the end of Season 2. This was not really the way I wanted to celebrate our 5th year in podcasting. And, John Lennon once said, life happens while you're making other plans. And that's exactly what has happened. And before we before we end the show, again, whether you're listening on any of the other platforms other than YouTube, we are going to end today's show with a song that is really kind of in rough demo form. Myself and Mariska wrote this song after hearing the news of Jeff. And this song's for you, brother. We love you. You will be greatly missed, but you will never be forgotten. And I love you, and I will never forget all the great memories that we've made together, whether it was at a barbecue, hanging out at the bar, whether it was in the recording studio. God knows we had plenty of great times in the studio, but you will not ever be forgotten. To my listeners, God bless you. Thank you for your support. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Please be safe. And I can't say this enough. If you're listening on any platform other than YouTube, this is it until we come back next year. Otherwise, if you're listening on YouTube, the podcast will continue in just a moment with a complete repeat of Season 1 and Season 2 for a total of, I think it's somewhere right around a 24-hour show. God bless everybody. Peace be with you. We'll see you next year.
Two boys in a basement making a sound, beating on walls till the rhythm was found. Your laughter still echoes, it circles around, and I can't shut it out. You taught me the chords, I played the mistakes. Now silence is loud and it aches. You're gone, but you're not. In every note I've got, your hand still guide my keys. Your voice rides every breeze. It's not fair. You're not there, but you are. We wrote our story in melodies raw, scratched on napkins and vinyls we saw. Now I'm holding the pages your absence claws, and I can't read them alone. The strings we would pluck, the words we would weave, now they're ghosts I can't quite believe. You're gone, but you're not. In you are.